If you're looking to enhance your psychic abilities, you've had a spiritual awakening happening, and you're wondering, am I crazy? By the way, you're not. This is a synchronicity that this video is finding you. I'm about to help you read tarot very easily. First of all, I just want to say, if you don't have your own tarot deck, that's the first step. You need your own tarot deck to tap in to get messages. I have been reading, I've been a psychic medium for a long time, and I still like to get out my tarot deck to help me really feel the energy. So if you don't have your own tarot deck, I actually have two that I made, and perhaps this is your calling to get your first tarot deck, or maybe it's time to freshen up and get a new tarot deck. But if you love the beach, then you might love these tarot decks. So the first one is the Sun and Soul Tarot deck. The back of the card, this is my first deck I made. So the back of the card represents a sun and it's exploding, just like a spiritual awakening. And then each card is very beach themed. So we have the Lover's card. There are two people that met on the beach, and these footsteps in the sand show that they met at the perfect time to reach each other right at sunset, right? Very symbolic. If this deck is calling to you, look, we have the Tower card, a lighthouse. If this is calling to you, this is available in the TikTok shop. It's called the Sun and Soul Tarot deck. Then my second deck I made this in a week. I just sat down and went for it. These feature angels on the beach, okay? And look, we have the King of Cups here, and that's Jesus himself, looking a little, he's getting heated up in the sunshine, okay? But anyways, if this deck calls to you, they're all different angels on the beach, then you can get this in the TikTok shop as well. It features the background's white with a little palm tree. I just like how clean and crisp this deck is. So if this deck calls to you, it's also in the TikTok shop. Then this deck, I love talking about this deck because if you're new to readings, trying to read tarot, trying to read cards, then an oracle deck is a great first step because the oracle deck, you don't have to memorize a bunch of cards, right? With tarot, there's 78 cards you have to know, but with an oracle deck, it tells you right on the card what it means. So this is my angel deck, and the story behind this is that I was sitting down and an angel came to me and said, you're going to make this deck, 44 angels are going to visit you, and they did. I had 44 different angels visit me in 24 hours. So yes, this deck was made in 24 hours, and every single card has the angel, what they look like, the name that they told me, along with their message at the bottom here. So you don't have to know how to read anything. You just, you can use this many different ways. You can sit down and just pull one card per day to see what your angel wants you to know. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can use this with your tarot readings. You can pull some tarot cards and then, enhance it with this. If you're advanced, what I like to do is I like to just look at the card and say, what do you have to tell me? And then I get the energy from the card. These are awesome. These are pretty cheap too. These are one of my cheaper decks. This is also available in the TikTok shop. It's called the Soleil Angel deck. So go check those options out. I think that, if this found you, this might be your sign from your spirit guides, okay? Talking about spirit guides, one of mine are in here, Samanye. This is who I saw. I'm going to just tell you the story because I really think it's a cool story. Okay. So before I was even on TikTok, before I was doing readings, before I even knew I was psychic, I was really having my spiritual awakening, and I was tapping in and I was wanting to get answers from my spirit guides. I had read a book by John Edward, and he talks about how we all have spirit guides, every single one of us. They're this spiritual team on the other side who helps us from the moment that we are born to the moment we die. They help us through our life. You have many different spirit guides that come in at different parts of your life, depending on what you're going through, and then you have one spirit guide who's with you through the whole life, okay? So I was like, well, if we all have spirit guides and they're helping us, I want to meet mine and I want to get a message from my spirit guide. So I did this guided meditation, and I didn't even know what to expect. I had no idea what to expect, okay? I was doing the guided meditation, doing the steps that they're telling you to do, and then I see my spirit guide, and the spirit guide looked just like that, and she told me her name was Samanye. And then I noticed she was holding something in her arms. And I was like, interesting, what is she holding? And it was kind of blurry, like when someone's really far away, you can't really tell what they're holding. So she was really far away. And then she kept getting closer and closer and closer. And as she got closer, I was like, what is she holding? It's black. I can see it's black. It's kind of medium sized. And as she got closer, I realized, oh my gosh, is that a dog? And then she sets the dog on the floor and the dog runs to me, and I realized it was my little dog, Toby, who had passed away maybe 2 years before I did this meditation. He died so traumatic, and it was really hard for me to see that, because not because he passed, but just seeing him, it happened very suddenly. The whole thing happened within like 5 hours, and he got very violently sick, and he ran up to me, and it felt so real. He ran up to me and he was licking me, and I was like, wow, what a beautiful message. What a beautiful way for me to meet my spirit guide. She surprised me. She showed me, look, here's your dog. And I went into that meditation, not even thinking about the dog, not even wanting answers about the dog. It felt so real. I knew it was real. Anyway, that's a little backstory on that angel card, okay? But there's 44, and maybe you've seen one of these angels in meditation before, okay? So anyway, that is what I have to say. If you're new here, make sure to follow me, because I post readings all the time. There's probably going to be something you need to hear from me. You found me for a reason, okay? I'll see you next time.